about Dallas, make it hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It's 3 o'clock Central. It is the one and only. This is, yeah. Let the celebration begin as I rise up. Here I come. It is the Big Time Show that is being seen live right now everywhere. Live on Facebook, YouTube pages, live right now on the Facebook page, Big Time Show page, live on Twitch and on Twitter, and right now on Instagram. Welcome to this show. I have joined several new groups, and I am sharing this on page for the first time on several pages. I hope that for those that may not know me, I am Doug Brooks Jr., aka known by my real name, Doug Brooks, and welcome to the Big Time Show. If this is your first time, where we talk cowboy talk nonstop, where we engage on a safe place, where your voice and your opinion is wanted and needed. It is you that makes up this show. Your comments may bring a different perspective that I may not even have thought about, and hope that you would don't be shy. I'm not one to go off on you, so but I ain't one for no foolishness either. No. I'll let you talk now, but I ain't gonna. You just can't go crazy. I ain't gonna curse you out or nothing like that. I'm just gonna be cool with it. This is our show. I hope you guys will share. Hey, everybody, I hope your Saturday is going well. This is a crazy Saturday as far as sports goes. If you're a sports fan, this is just a great day. So much on right now as we speak. For those that don't know, for those that can, the Tyson Fury. I don't want to mispronounce the other Usyk. I just say his last name. It is on. It's on right now. So it's real cool to have that on later on tonight. Got basketball, of course. You're a baseball fan, of course. Baseball is on right now. The women's college softball is on now. Man, look, it is. It's plenty. The WNBA was on today. It's just loaded. If you're a golf fan, which I am, the PGA Championship third round is on right now as we speak. I mean, it is just loaded with sports on today. and I'm loving every second of it. Give me a second, just a quick second. Y'all don't need to know what I just said. What's going on? Let me speak to everybody that's in the building uh, real quickly that I see. Hey, Terry, what's up? Greg, what is up? Miss Ty is in the building. Hey, Joe in the building. What's going on, everybody? That's all I see as of now. Let me check Instagram just to make sure. Hey, app. Okay, I ain't gonna say this because I don't know, but it's on Instagram. Somebody shortcake. Okay. Hello. You gotta be careful with some of these Instagram names because it's crazy. What's going on? We're gonna talk today. I haven't had my say about the schedule. That of course that was released earlier this week. I haven't had the chance to talk about it. I purposely didn't talk about it because I was going to save all of mine for today. And of course, a lot of my brothers have done an outstanding job dissecting and analyzing and all that type stuff. They've done a great job. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to some of them predict and try to make the Cowboys, a real factor in this thing. And I'm not saying that they won't be. I'm just saying I enjoyed them trying to make things, interesting. I want to start it off this way. Well, first of all, let's start it off right. Listen, if you are watching, I got to do this, y'all. If you're watching and you want to contribute to the podcast, you can by using the stars. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, you can use the super chat. You can use the super chat. You can do that as well. That is not required, but if you want to, you can. And I would appreciate it if you did that. If you are the Cash App, I don't think I put that on there, and I have not. Let me put that on there. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to do production. I'm sorry. I'm coming. I promise you. We're going to talk about the schedule. That's really what the whole show about is today. I'm interested really to see what y'all got to say. I'm interested to see how your vibe really is concerning the schedule. I'm going to tell you mine in a second. If you want to do the Cash App, it's simple. You can go to $ the Big Time Show. You can do that, and I would appreciate it. Now, last thing I need you to do before we go ahead and get started is everybody hit that like button for me. I need everybody, if you don't mind, to hit that like button at least 20 times. At least 20 times. 20. Just smash it. It won't take you no more than about 5 or 6 seconds, if that long. Smash that like button for me, if you don't mind. I'm still sharing right now. And hopefully we'll go ahead and get things totally started. Forgive me, but I want to share this to as many Cowboy fans and Cowboy family as I can. And of course to them haters that's out there who act like the Dallas Cowboys schedule is the only schedule that has came out. You know what I'm saying? They're already in mid-season form. They're focusing in on the Dallas Cowboys. That's all they want to do. They want to focus in on the Cowboys. That's it. It never fails. They're already in mid-season form. All right. Let's start with questions here. I think I saw one question. I think it was Shane, if I'm not mistaken. My brother Shane in the building. What Shane say? Shane says, Bishop, circle week 9 of the schedule. Is that the bye week? Of course. He says, my prediction is McCarthy will be fired that week. Well, if that's the case, then you're expecting the Dallas Cowboys not to do well. We got all 17, 18 weeks. And by week 9, you're saying McCarthy will be fired, then I got a kind of feeling where your head is when it comes to the schedule. You don't think that the Cowboys will do well. And if that be the case, then they shouldn't even let them coach. If they think that, you know what I'm saying, for real. That's too much. That's too much. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because let's just look at that. It's just my thinking. You can help me out. I'm not saying I'm right. If there was the offensive coordinator there, then you could do that to me. But since McCarthy is the coach and the offensive coordinator, I don't think you can do that because you lose your offensive coordinator. And it's obvious what would happen if what you're talking about is true. Then Mike Zimmer would move immediately into the head coaching role, but we all know he's a defensive coach. Well, I mean, I guess you got Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer could do it since he's a part of the play system. That's fine. But that's just too much of a turnover to me. That's too much of a turnover. I totally forgot about Schottenheimer is there. So let me take that back. The offense would stay the same because Schottenheimer would do it. But the other factor is play caller. Now, Schottenheimer will be forced into a play calling type thing. Not saying that he couldn't do it. He's done it before, actually, so that's not the issue. It could happen, which means since Schottenheimer's there, then I'm about to retract a little bit what I said. Who knows? But if by week 9 he's gone, which I believe is the bye week, then why even go through this? Because as we all know, if everybody's seen the schedule by now, it's brutal. It's look, we have what you're supposed to have as a division winner of the previous season. A division winner automatically gets obviously a first place schedule. We're not the only ones that have something like this. We have a first place schedule, and the way that it's set up, it is what it is. This is what you get when you go 12-4. 12-5 every year. This is what you get. We had a first place schedule. We didn't have it the previous year because Philadelphia won the division. So we had a second place schedule. It wasn't that much different because the schedule was brutal last year, if you ask me. And of course, the year before that, we won the division. That's a first place schedule. So, be honest with you, we're kind of used to this. To be honest with you, week 6 is the bye. I'm sorry. We're getting ready. We're getting ready to find it. This is my overall view. Let's go ahead and just get into it. I know y'all gonna have a lot to say. I haven't heard what y'all said, but let's just look at it. There's a schedule. I'll move up in a second to catch it, but let's say week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first 9 weeks. For the first 10 weeks, we got 7 playoff teams. Don't get no tougher than that, whether it's at home or it's the road. The first 10 weeks, we have 7 playoff opponents that would make the playoffs last year. All right. It is what it is. Uh, you know, the NFL knows what they're doing. Let's look at logistics and everything else because you got to factor all this in. The NFL knows what they're doing. The Dallas Cowboy fan base, Dallas Cowboy, you know, it travels everywhere, so it really makes no difference whether the Cowboys open up at home or on the road. It makes no difference. The Cowboys will be a draw, whoever they play in week one. That has always been that way. To be honest with you, I'm surprised that the Cowboys did not. Surprised that the Cowboys did not were not on Sunday night football. I'm surprised slightly. I thought that for sure. I thought this year they would open up the Cowboys on a Sunday night or possibly even a Monday night. If you want major ratings on any night, I really thought that they would open them up on Sunday night or Monday night. I really thought that that's what they would do, but it makes no difference. It's going to be the same thing. They open up against Cleveland. That will be, without a doubt, probably the biggest, rated game of the week. Seriously. Tom Brady is calling the game. Everybody going to tune in and watch Brady, see how he acts, see how his brain works, dissecting plays like Romo does. It's perfect. Fox wanted to be number one at their 3:00 slot. What they do? They put the Cowboys on. Automatic win. NBC probably wanted them too. I don't know what the Sunday night game is. Really don't care. Cowboys ain't playing. So I can care less. Whatever the Monday night game is, I don't know. But it would have been a draw, a major draw, to have the Cowboys on Sunday night or Monday night. The third Sunday afternoon is just fine. It's going to be the same millions of people who are going to be watching, and they're going to watch the Cowboys, the Cowboy fan base. And this time, I have to give Fox credit, or whoever the NFL schedule was, because Cleveland has a huge fan base that stretches across the country too. May not be as big as the Cowboys, but they're one of those pillar franchises. And they have a huge fan base. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be a huge game on the field. And let me just go and say this for me. Unlike some of my brothers who have predicted the whole season, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because there's too much that can happen in between now and just week one. There's just no way that I can predict it because I don't know who am I lining up with. I don't know. Excuse me. It's so much that can happen, mainly injuries. I mean, and like the hater has come in. One of the haters, I remember him from last show, Drew is in, a Philadelphia Eagle fan. Who's come in and already predicting the season. I can't predict the season, so I'll let you guys have that. If y'all say Cowboys will go 9-8, and Cowboys will go 10-6, 11-6, 12-5, whatever, or 6-10, whatever you say, I can't argue with it. Excuse me. It's just too hard to predict. I just can't do it. It's too much to that can happen. So I'll let you guys, if y'all want to do the overall record, you have it in the chat. I'm not doing it. However, there are some truths inside of the schedule that I can predict. And I'm going to go ahead and start that off with the first game. You remember what I said earlier about if Tyler Guyton is our starting left tackle. If he is our starting left tackle, he got to get ready quick. I've been saying that. Y'all know I said it. I said that forget all the rest of what you're talking about. I said that he needs to get baptized early. And I said because of who we have on our team, he can get ready at an advanced rate. And he better get advanced. Now, you see why I said that, because the truth inside of week 1 is obvious. He is going to be going against Myles Garrett a lot. If you're a defensive coordinator, you are putting Myles Garrett against a rookie left tackle. It's just no question. Now, if the Cowboys are smart, you are not letting my Tyler Guyton be baptized by Myles Garrett and full live bullets coming at him. You got to get him ready. So remember what I said. Now, I'm sorry, I got a super chat, so let me stop what I'm talking about. Terry says we have a rookie versus the reigning defensive player of the year. Exactly. So here are the truths inside of the game. Myles Garrett is beating up all pros. He's been doing that. Now, what you think he's going to do to a rookie? I'm just saying. I understand Tyler Guyton is 6'7" and whatever, over 300 pounds, and was an All-American at Oklahoma. I get that. But this is not Oklahoma. This is not the Big 12 Conference. This is not Oklahoma against Baylor. You understand me? This is Myles Garrett, a dominant force who requires, listen to me, he requires a double team. And even with all the double teams that he gets, he still gets his numbers. He's still the defensive player of the year. And for reason, because he is a dominant football player. Let me tell you something. You better in practice. You better put my Mr. Parsons on him to get him ready. You better put D-Law on him. Why I say D-Law? Because D-Law is a physical guy that will beat you up inside. He ain't got to get outside. He can get there just going like Myles Garrett can do it all. The reason why I'm focusing in on that, notice I ain't talking about the rest of Cleveland defense. They were great on defense last year. I'm talking about a guy who can take over a game, which is Myles Garrett. I hope that the Dallas Cowboys aren't stupid in week 1. That's all I'm saying. Do not let Tyler Guyton go one-on-one with Myles Garrett. Watch this. Ever. There should be help on Myles Garrett in the run game, passing game, on every play. I don't care if the ball is being ran to the other side. You need help. We ain't got time in week 1 for no macho man theology, thinking that you're the smartest man in the room. Every offensive coordinator knows you better double Myles Garrett. It's just that simple, man. It's not hard. Okay? So, I think this is common sense football. But common sense isn't common always. So let me just stop there. I hope they know, we don't want the boys' confidence to be killed in week 1. So no, we need help. Whether that's Ezekiel Elliott helping, whether that's double, I don't care who it is. Tight end on that side, which would probably be the case. Tight end on whatever side that he line up on, you go ahead and punish him. Try your best. Now, let me ask y'all this question, because this is what I thought about. You remember my previous shows at least, I've been saying that the history shows that the Dallas Cowboys do not play their starters in preseason. They do not. They do not play their starters in preseason. So considering week 1, let's go to even week 2, because on week 2 we play the Saints and they got a dominant pass rusher over there. The Ravens have a dominant pass rusher. Giants have Thibodeau, he's dominant. Pittsburgh, TJ Watt, of course. Week 6, Detroit, Hutchinson. So look at the pass rushers. I'm going inside the game now. The first 6 weeks, look at the pass rushers from Cleveland, New Orleans, Baltimore, the Giants, the Steelers, and the Lions. All right, let's just stick there. I just named out at least 6 of them. I can't think of Baltimore's guy for some reason. I can't think of him. But I know the other guy from number 2. I mean, with the Saints, I just can't, my mind can't think of his name right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The dominant guy who's been there for a while. All right. Since I said that, let me see if y'all change your mind, because I'll let you know mine. Do y'all think that Guyton needs to be playing in the preseason? I ain't talking about just keep playing. What I'm talking about is, should he get some work? Because you don't want him to get his first real live bullets coming from Myles Garrett now. See, even in practice, there's a limit in practice. With Parsons, with D-Law coming at him, with Sam Williams coming at him, and with the new kid, Nealon, coming at him, it may be full speed, but is it really? You see what I'm saying? You don't want that intensity to be the first thing that he sees 1,000% live is Myles Garrett. That I'm just asking. So Greg says no. I'm asking y'all, do you think, and on that note, I might as well say, if I say Guyton, that means BB as well. If y'all think BB is our starting center, if y'all believe he's our starting center, does BB and Guyton need work in the preseason? Come on, talk to me real quick. And while y'all type, I ask. I think they need just a little work. I think they do. They're rookies. Yeah, James says absolutely. See, the formula for the Cowboys is because the line was already set, and keep in mind it was Tyron Smith who didn't need the work. Zach Martin, who did not need the work in preseason. You're confident with that. You're okay with that. You don't have no problem with them not playing. But we're talking about 2 fresh out of the oven rookies. We're talking rookies here. And they don't have the same cachet. They don't have the same status as a Tyron Smith and a Zach Martin. Zach Martin don't need no work, but BB does. Tyron Smith did not need any work, but Tyler Guyton does. They do. They're rookies. I'm saying they are rookies. They need to work. Now, how much work, that'll be determined. But they should touch the seat. They have to touch the field. In my view. Or if I just say this, if I was coaching, they would touch the field. I'm not saying they need to play a whole half. I'm not saying they need to play a whole quarter. You have to let them get their feet wet. This is the NFL. They need to get they need to experience a holding call so they know not what to do in the game in week 1. You don't need to be experimenting against Myles Garrett. You want some penalty flags to fly. Oh my God. It's gonna fly. They need to get inside. They need they need to make some mistakes. They need to make mistakes. They need to do it, because I had said before, what the theory was that my theory was, okay, they in practice is going to be real good because of who we had, on the defensive side. That's called true baptism by fire. When you get a left tackle going against Michael Parsons and D. Law and Sam Williams, and that can advance you real quick. But he's a rookie. I need to take the perspective, and I'm gonna correct myself. I just think that he needs as much work as possible if he's gonna be our starting left tackle. Look at those first 6 weeks. And since y'all football fans, you know who on these teams. Look at week 1. That's Myles Garrett. 2, forgive me, I still ain't thought of the guy's name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The Saints guy who's been there for a long period of time. All pro type dude. I ain't gonna say it's not Dominique Davis. It's Jesus. What's the guy's name? Somebody help me. It's a sad case that I don't know the guy's name from the Saints. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Has dreadlocks. He's a dominant guy. That's who he's gonna be going against. Cameron Jordan. Thank you, Tyrone Church. Cameron Jordan from the Saints. These are the guys who got him fit to go against. Baltimore has a good guy. I forgot his name. But Baltimore's known for their linebackers. It was Queen and oh God, Patrick Queen and oh Jesus, who's my guy? The other linebacker that they had. He's gone now. He went to another team. But they were two dominant guys. The Giants have Thibodeau, dominant guy. 5. The Steelers, of course, have T.J. Watt. Okay, then we got the bye. But just with those first 6 weeks, this guy, we gonna find out real quick. Oh my God, we gonna find out real quick how good Mr. Guyton is. Shoot, Guyton, since I see the schedule now, let me tell you something. Guyton might make a Pro Bowl if he can get past week 6 with flying colors. You gonna hear some conversations if he can get through with flying colors. When you go against the type of talent that he's getting ready to go against, whether that's a double team or not, which you should be a double team help. But we're going to start hearing talk already, say, hey, this guy is a rookie of the year. This guy should be a Pro Bowl type left tackle in his first year. We're going to hear all that if he can get through that. That first 6 weeks is going to be brutal. I'm talking about guys that can change games if they go crazy. We know how crazy T.J. Watt is. We know how he can take over a game. We know that Myles Garrett can take over a game. Thibodeau is tough from the Giants, real tough. Hutchinson was an All-Pro last year with the Lions. So, hey, I'm going inside the game. I ain't predicting no game because I don't know who gonna line up, which leads to this thing. Lord have mercy. We need to be in prayer now. We need to be in prayer right now that no injuries happen. Now, y'all don't want to talk about that, but seriously, we need to be praying right now for our offensive line that the hand of God will stay on them. Shit. We can't afford, because see, we know who bagging up. A lot of these people now past TJ Bass and Hoffman. If BB is a starter, we cool with that. But when you start talking about Ball and Wesco and Chumu and I mean, look, we can't afford too much. We can't afford too much now. Seriously. We can't afford too much. We can't afford too many injuries. Not no season-ending injuries. We might survive a couple of games or so, but we can't afford no real injuries now. We can't afford it. Not on that offensive line, because there's too much that's built into the offensive line. These guys are gonna be counted upon for real. Can't afford it. We need to be in prayer for them right now. Oh my goodness, seriously. Because when you look at weeks 1, and that was the first thing that caught my attention. I don't care nothing about the home games. I don't care nothing about the away games. I'm just looking at who they're playing, because the teams that we're going against are teams that don't care whether they're on the road or not. Just because the Cowboys went and played great at home last year, on this schedule here, you're going against teams, with the exception of when I'm looking at week 1 through week 6, you're looking at a team, maybe with the exception of one, that played the same way at home or on the road. Cleveland was a playoff team last year. Really tough. All right. The Saints, tough football team. I don't have to say anything about Baltimore. Tough football team. I'm not counting the Giants quite yet, because I think we're going to beat the Giants twice this year. So I'm not even counting them, but I am saying their defense was a top 10 defense last year. Can't ignore that. Pittsburgh Steelers, we ain't got to even question that. They're a tough football team. Their coach is tough. Coach Tomlin is tough. They're always going to be ready to play. They always are in games. Their style of play travels. You see what I'm saying? The teams that I'm calling out, their style of play travels. Cleveland was a running football team last year. Guess what? That travels. New Orleans, tough football team, could run the football with Kamara. Tough football team. I ain't got to say nothing about Baltimore. Lamar, and now they done added Derrick Henry. You know what they're going to do. They're going to run the football. Defense is always tough. The Giants, I don't think they're going to be, I think we should beat them regardless, but they have a tough football coach. They play tough. The Steelers, I ain't got to say nothing about that. And the Lions, I ain't got to say nothing about the Lions. They're a tough football team. Run the ball like crazy. Notice the theme I done said. They run the ball. Everybody I just said, with the exception of the Giants, run the football. So let's look at that. I don't count Nick Chubb, because Chubb had such an injury last year with his knee. I don't even know if Chubb is going to be ready. And even if he is, the first question is he the same guy? I don't think he will be. That's just me. I don't even think he'll be ready for week 1, because he hurt himself later on in the season. He tore, I think, all 3 of his ligaments in his knee. I'm not sure he'll be ready. So I'm not, if he is, God bless him. But when you have an injury like that, it takes time to be back to yourself, especially when you have done all 3. So I ain't worried about it. But Cleveland ran the ball last year with the backups that they had. Okay? Terry, I got a super chat. I'm finna come to that real quick. You lead me in, Terry. Thank you. Terry says, what's our identity, running or passing team? I'm finna come to that in just a second. Because I'm going, I see something. All right? Let me take that down. Let me take it down. There we go. New Orleans, running team, Kamara. And last year they had the other backup. I don't know if he's there. Baltimore, Derrick Henry. Baltimore has Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. So when you focus in on Derrick, here comes Lamar running like crazy. They got backup running backs who are just as great. The Steelers have Najee Harris. The Lions have Gibbs and Montgomery. So look, which leads to what Terry just asked. See, the way I'm looking at it is this. We're right back to some of the same questions that we had at the end of the season. Same questions that we had the previous seasons. And that is, are we physical or are we finesse? Because no matter how much optimism you have, we got the same question marks. No matter how much you want to go off on the pessimistic Cowboy fans, such as myself, no matter how much you want to say, let's be positive, let's do all this, let's look at it. No, here's the bottom line. The Cowboys have not stopped the run in the last 8 to 9 years. Here we go. That is the truth. Because the Dallas Cowboys do not address what needs to be addressed. What have we been saying? It's the same questions, y'all. We've been saying for the last 10 years we need defensive tackles. How many years have we been saying that? Well, I asked you the question because y'all are knowledgeable Cowboy fans. Have the Cowboys addressed the defensive tackle position? You know the answer to that. The answer to that is no. They addressed the linebacker position. I know what you're saying. Well, Mozzie would do well. Well, I got to see it. I understand Mozzie has put the weight back on. That's good. But even if you just saying Mozzie, who else? Who else? Please don't say Osi, because see, I done seen Osi. Osi get pushed back. He's small. Osi is a playmaking defensive tackle. Osi gets gobbled up in the running game. Who else? Carl Davis. Good Lord. Carl Davis is just coming out the practice squad. Who we got? Who we got? I mean, I don't even know who we have defensive tackle wise. So I still got the same questions that I've had for the last 7 to 8 years. Can we stop the run? And ladies and gentlemen, when you would look at weeks 1 through 6, guess what's getting ready to happen? We're about to find out real quick that answer to that question. Because trust me, you know it. We're about to find out because they're going to test us running ball, especially week 3. Oh, my God. Y'all, I mean, this Baltimore Ravens, oh, my God. We going to find out real quick, just in those first 6 weeks, if we can stop the run. And if we can't stop the run, it's going to be a long 6 weeks. I'm not saying we can't win. It's just going to be, we're going to be relying heavily on our offense to put up a whole lot of points. Let me just say that. And I'm not saying it can't happen because we put up a lot of points. We do that. We do that. We do that. We gonna be relying. If we can't stop the run, see this has to be done, which goes back to Shane saying that McCarthy will be gone by week 9. Where if you're saying that, then obviously you're looking at weeks 1 through 6, and you don't see too many wins in there. Seriously. And I'm not gonna predict because I don't know who we're lining up with. I don't know who we lining up with. I don't know who's gonna survive training camp without injuries. I'll start making predictions the week of week 1. That's when I'll start. But just doing it now, I can't really do it. I can see it and say, I figure that this gonna be a rough 6 weeks. If they can come through, this first 6 weeks with at least 2 to 3 wins, we're still okay. We're still okay. If you want to go that route, if we can come out of that gauntlet in the first 6 weeks with at least 3 wins, we're okay. That's just my view. Just if you want to start that, please don't ask me which 3 or 3 wins because I ain't saying it. I'm just saying that we can come out of it in those first 6 weeks. As you look at it, with at least 3 wins, I think we're okay. And a lot of people went off on my fraternity brother this week, Ryan Clark, about let me see this. I don't know why I just did that. I just did it. Change it up. Let me change it back. Let's see this. Okay, I can't do that. Okay. Let me get back to that. All right. So again, those first 6 weeks is what I looked at and I said, "Oh my goodness, woo, oh boy." You know, that's you find out about your football team real quick. So to go back to Terry's thing, say, we're running or a passing team. Notice I ain't got to the offensive side of the ball yet. I think we all know the answer to that question. To me, I don't care what. I don't care who we drafted. I don't care, BB and Guyton are there. I don't care if they start. The Cowboys, when it comes to the running game, this is what I've just figured out on my own. The Cowboys just need to run the ball what the question is, let me say this. Can we run the ball when we need to run the ball? Like, we're going to run it now. You can't stop us. And to answer your question, Terry, about whether we're running a passing team, to answer that question at least, the answer to that is we're a passing team because we can't run it when we want to. It's obvious. It's been that way. And I'm sorry for all of you that love Zeke. Zeke is not that much of a difference maker that we can say, the running game is fixed now. No. With Zeke, maybe the goal line may be fixed. I'll give you that. I think Zeke gonna have the kind, double-digit touchdown if we can get inside the 5-yard line a lot. Because he can run short yards. He can get that. He can get that for us. That'll solve a lot of red zone things. But as far as him and Rico and whoever else, we ain't gonna run the ball like that, y'all. Y'all know that. We got dang near the almost should have been the MVP last year back there. You're gonna put the ball in his hands. You got a first team all-pro wide receiver who has to get the ball. He has to get the ball. You have a Pro Bowl tight end in Jake Ferguson. He has to get the ball. Brandon Cooks got better last year. We are a passing football team. We have a quarterback that will throw for over 4,000 yards. We have a quarterback that will have 30 touchdowns. He's a second team All-Pro. We got a first team All-Pro wide receiver. You ain't finna run the ball. We're not that. Y'all know that by now. Mike McCarthy been saying he's gonna run the ball for the last God knows how many years. It's not gonna happen. We got more. You're right, Shane. That's why I said. That's why I'm saying. We're asking a lot of them. We got more than we have a passing game. We may not have two dominant wide receivers, but we have a passing game. Jake Ferguson is becoming a borderline kind of on the verge of being a real problem in this league. I think that he almost really is a problem. He's a problem. Jake Ferguson is. You pair that with CeeDee Lamb, you just need a little bit more help on the other side if they throw him the ball. It's good. Man, look what Dak did just with Jake Ferguson learning the game last year. This was last year. CeeDee went completely cuckoo, crazy. Brandon Cooks really didn't come on to the end of last year. And this dude was almost the MVP of the league. So now that they're second year into the offense of Mike McCarthy, you figure that Dak is going to be better. You figure CeeDee will be better. You figure Cooks will be better. You figure Ferguson going to be better. But the running game ain't better. The running game ain't better. The running game's not better. We didn't have no real problems out of Tony Pollard in his blocking on third down. No. Well, y'all can't say that. The thing that happened with Father Tony Pollard, they had mistaken identity crisis. They thought Tony Pollard was Zeke Elliott by running him up the middle like a ball, like he was a bowling ball or something. He ain't built like that. Then Rico got hurt, but you bring Zeke back for a feel-good story. That's the way I look at it. Everybody acting like Zeke is back to, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Y'all know Zeke ain't that guy. He's not. I hope he turned into that, but I don't see it. Huh? No, I don't think that's the case. So to answer your question again, we're a passing team. And no matter what y'all say about Dak, no matter how y'all feel about Dak, Dak has the same thing every year. 4,000 plus yards, 30 touchdowns, high in QBR, Pro Bowl quarterback. This year, all-pro quarterback, run-up MVP. This is what Dak does. No matter how much y'all hate him. It's almost the same scenario every year. It is. So I expect them to turn the ball to be a passing team. Let me go back to defense. I think we'll be better on defense because I believe in who our coordinator is. He's proven. And then I also believe from a scheme standpoint, we'll be better simply because you'll have real linebackers in. You won't have safeties playing linebackers. It's just a total different philosophy. My only problem is right there in the middle, which a lot of pressure is on Mozzie Smith. He got to show up this year in a major way. I ain't talking about in no sacks. I ain't talking about in no tackles. Can he clog up gaps? That's what I'm talking about, so that the linebackers can run free. That's really his only job this year. Can he clog up the middle so the middle won't be so wide open that we get gashed up the middle? Can he slow it down so the linebackers get in there and go free? That's the only question for him. If he could do that, no, I ain't expecting Mozzie Smith to be a Pro Bowl player. I ain't expecting Mozzie Smith to do all that. No, I'm not. I'm not even talking about that. Who cares? He wasn't like that in Michigan. He just needs to become the guy that can clog up and be a traffic guy. That's what he needs to do. And we are dependent on that this year. He has to do that. Can he? Time will reveal. But he's sure gonna get tested. That's gonna happen. He is going to get tested real quick. All right. That's weeks 1 through 6. Good Lord, we need to bye week after that. We need that. And then when you start talking about a defense, a brand new defense, you do realize that it takes time to gel. Okay? You just don't come in on fire. You just don't do that. With a new coordinator, sometimes it takes time. And then keep in mind, guys ain't really played together because for week 1, that's when the whole starting defense for the first time probably will be together. Playing actually in the game, because I doubt very seriously they will play in the preseason together. So it's going to take a little time to get it all together. I think the defense will get better as the season goes. Obviously, Zimmer is a proven coach. His system works. No matter where he's been, it works. So I have no reason to believe it wouldn't work here. You got the players to make it work. We should be fine. That's where I look at it. I ain't saying we're gonna be the number one defense in the league. I ain't saying all that. I just said we should be fine. We should be fine. We need the bye week in week 7 because those first 6 weeks are crazy. All right. Soon as we get out the bye week, though, look who we get. Our boogeyman. Our team that we can't get past. And then since y'all getting all acting like it's not the truth, the San Francisco 49ers, bottom line, until otherwise noticed, has our number. And we on the road. And once again, we get to do a replay of last year on a Sunday night there where we got totally annihilated and embarrassed. It's the same thing. Week 8, we go to San Francisco against the 49ers. I don't have to tell you again, a physical football team. A team that is just as dominant on defense as they were on offense. You're gonna have to, you see what I'm saying? We gonna find out. And and what Shane said earlier about by week 9, McCarthy will be fired. Well, I'll play the game with Shane here. Let's just say, for instance, what would it take? Because if you're saying by week 9, you're expecting a lot of losses. So I'll play the game with that one. Most people say Baltimore is gonna beat us. A lot of people saying Cleveland's gonna win. So far, people say New Orleans will beat New Orleans, and they say we'll beat the Giants. The Pittsburgh they say we should beat Pittsburgh, but it's a toss-up. That's a great rivalry game for us older Cowboy fans. That's gonna be a crazy week that week. We hate the Steelers, and the Steelers hate us. And then they say Detroit is going to beat us. So I just counted out the automatic losses everybody says Cleveland, Baltimore, and the Lions. So there's 3 losses based off that. Everybody going to say the 49ers are going to beat us. That's 4 losses. And you say about week 9, Shane. So you're saying that with 3 and 4, we should, he ain't going to make it past that. I thought, be honest with you, Shane, what you saying, I thought it would be by week 7 if you're going to go that route, saying McCarthy not going to make it. I thought that would be the perfect time because to fire him, if you want to go that route, if you're going to fire him, it should be by week 7. That way you got 2 weeks before you play again. You got a little time to get Schottenheimer in there and, the team starts slowly but surely getting used to him. And it changes, man. You got 2 weeks to get it going rather than just a rush week. So I would say if there was to be a mid-season firing, which I doubt very seriously, but if it was, it would have to come in week 7 during the bye week. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't think it's going to happen at all. But week 8, 49ers, I don't have to really say anything about that. You better buckle your strap. Buckle up your chin strap real good and get ready because it's going to be a physical game. And the 49ers, of course, are a bully type team. And if you ain't ready, you're going to get bullied. That's what happened to us last year. We went down there and got bullied. Bottom line. They slapped us in the face and we didn't slap them back. We got embarrassed. So that's week 8. Week 9, Falcons. I'm just going by 6 games apiece. Got the 49ers, the Falcons, the Eagles at home, the Texans at home, and then Washington, and then the Giants again. Another tough stretch. I don't think it's as tough as the first 6 weeks. Atlanta is a wild card. You don't know really how good they're going to be. Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles. Will he even make it? Who knows? But if he is there, Kirk can play the quarterback position. Kirk Cousins is just like that. 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. That's what Kirk Cousins does. Kirk Cousins puts the numbers up. That's why he keep getting paid the big money. Kirk Cousins does well. So I don't know how Atlanta will be. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I don't know. So I can't really speak to that. They have a total different offensive system. I don't know. So I can't say none of that. Philadelphia, everybody will be circling that game. Division rival. Philly, of course, have gotten new pieces, big pieces. We'll see. I don't care who Philadelphia has. It's Philadelphia against Dallas. It's going to be a dog fight. I guess that's where Drew come in. Nobody don't care nothing about what they have on paper. Saquon is Saquon. He been stopped by us for years, so I ain't worried about Saquon. I ain't worried about Jalen Hurts. Only thing I worry about Jalen Hurts is unless he running the ball. I want him passing. We know them, they know us. So bring it on. We know about AJ and Devontae, so be it. We done seen them. So what? We beat their brains out. How about that? Since I got Eagle fans in here, we don't care nothing about Jalen. We don't care nothing about y'all defense. We beat y'all brains out with all the firepower that y'all had. We could care less about the Philadelphia Eagles and what all they have and all that. Who cares? Please. Dak Prescott is 8-3 against the Philadelphia Eagles over his career. Can I interest you in that? We care less. Shane says the reason I said week 9 is I believe the Cowboys lose to 49ers. Jared will say I've seen enough. I'm saying it could happen before that, Shane, which leads to another whole thing, and I'll get into that in a second. If you don't mind, let me save that. Well, now I'll say it before I forget. One of the knocks against the Dallas Cowboys is this, and it's obvious, and I don't care what y'all say. It's the truth. Cowboys don't win the big games. The Cowboys, they say, don't win against teams above 500. Well, guess what? When you look at the first 8 weeks and the 49ers are there, guess what? The big games. Cleveland is a big game. That's a playoff team. New Orleans is not as big, but they're going to play us tough. Baltimore is a huge game. The Giants are our division team. The Steelers are a tough team on the road. The Lions, of course, are a tough football team. So, Shane, you're saying the 49ers. I'm saying if the Cowboys don't do well in those first 6 weeks, I mean, after a week, I'm just throwing it out. I'm just saying, if the Cowboys are 1-5 headed into the bye week, I mean, come on now. If they're 2-4, that ain't too much better. I'm just saying. You ain't gonna have to wait till the 49 game. If that's the way they're gonna play it now. You're not gonna have to wait until the 49 game. Joe says, I'm confident we going 7-0 in the first 7 games. I love your optimism, Joe. I love your optimism. That's all I'm gonna say on that. King Chase, he said, I don't think Jerry is going to fire McCarthy Miller. I think he's going to win. Yeah, I agree, King Chase. I think that's the case. There's just too much of a turnover, even though you got people that can fill the positions immediately if that was to happen. I don't think they would go that route. That'd be too much of a knock to the football team. That would actually kind of hurt the locker room because a lot of people love Mike, and the morale would just be down. You might as well just go and get ready for the next season if you do that. I think he's gonna let him go all the way through and be, after that, you make your determination after that. Week 11. To be on the Texans, of course, I think gonna be a very good football team. And of course, praise God, the Eastside Herald is not here for right now. But the Texans are gonna be tough, real tough. You know that because of the coach that they have in D'Amico Ryans, who has already got his handprint on that team. You can see it. They're only gonna get better, y'all. They got better in the offseason when they went and got Stephon Diggs. They were already, real good with Nico Harris and Dale. Nico Collins. I'm sorry, and the other receiver that they had, Michi and Dalton Schultz had a good year last year. C.J. Stroud, without a doubt, he got it, whatever quotation it. He has it. He's a tremendous factor. Houston gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a highly emotional game. They're gonna build it as the game of the Battle of Texas, and rightfully so. A lot of people are jumping on the Texans bandwagon. It's gonna be a huge game. That's gonna be a huge. That is gonna be a huge game. And there's a couple games that I got circled on here that I just may be going to. And that's the Baltimore Raven game. That's week 3. And then the Texan game would be a nice one too, if I was to go. Those two I got my eye on. That's going to be a big game. Washington, hey, they're going to be better. How much better? I don't know. A lot of that going to be dependent on their quarterback, how good he is starting off. That's to be determined, but we know that they're going to be ready to play because Dan Quinn will have them ready to go. Their defense will be good. Everywhere Dan Quinn goes, the defense becomes better. So there's no sense of us acting like Dan Quinn don't know what he's doing. He does. So Washington is going to be a little tough out. That's what I'm figuring. All right, I'm just going down the list. The Giants, of course, I said we should beat the Giants twice to me. Cincinnati, my only question about Cincinnati is Joe Burrow going to be there? Joe Burrow get hurt every year. He's fragile as glass. He's taking a beating every year. His offensive line has not been good since he's been there, and they did not get any better. So I don't, by week 14, will Burrow be there? I don't know. If he is there, then, he'd be pretty good. B-Bird got a $5 super chat, says our season depends on how fast the rookie O-line perform. If they improve our run game, I can see 11 or 12 wins. We also need a vet DT. B-Bird, you came in preaching what I've already said. And it is the truth on that note. The offensive line is, they gon', when you, I was hammering in B-Bird, if you look at the screen, I was just looking at the first 6 weeks. And the pass rushers from week 1 to week 6, and the baptism of Mr. Guyton as our left tackle. It's bad enough he got to see some of these guys in practice. But good Lord, he's going against the who's who of the NFL, week 1 through 6. Just look at the pass rushers. Myles Garrett, week 1. Cam Jordan, week 2. I forgot the kid from Baltimore. Thibodeau from the Giants. T.J. Watt from the Steelers. Hutchinson from the Lions. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. Good Lord. That's tough. That's real tough. And we're gonna find out about him real quick in this league. That's why I said earlier, go ahead and get him ready now. Just, in practice, go on, let Parsons destroy him. as far as a vet DT goes, B-Bird, I have no confidence at all with our front office as far as getting DTs. We've been begging for that for the last 8-9 years. I can't. We ain't figured that piece of the puzzle out yet. All these years. When it comes to defensive tackle position, we haven't figured that out yet. I have no confidence. I really believe they putting all their eggs in one basket with Mozzie Smith and OC and maybe Chauncey Golston in there or whatever. And Carl Davis. I think that's what they say, hey, let's roll. They never address it. All the good people that they had, they let go. They let go of Ridgeway. They let go of a big hand where they didn't go get Hankins. They let go of Gallimore. I mean, I'm calling guys who really won the factor in the first place. But I'm just saying, your answer to answering that issue is not by letting everybody go. Good God, we don't have nobody. They have not addressed it. Exactly. So I can't get excited. I know you say we need a DT. You're right. But their definition of a vet DT is going to be who gets cut from these other teams, and they're going to try to swipe them. That's their answer. They don't address the issue with force and power. They address it with a mindset of a flea market type mindset. That's how they address the defensive line and defensive tackles. We've been having this problem last 8-10 years. It don't take that long to fix it. Not no 8 to 10 years. No. You don't address it in the draft. As much as they like to draft, they don't draft defensive tackles. I mean, not what they did, but I'm saying, but they give up on them too quick. Yeah, that's another whole subject, Craig. You said, did I see Quinn wanting Wagner, but the front office said no? Well, that goes back to the flea market mentality. I mean, I wasn't surprised. If y'all been following my show, I've been saying that that was a Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones issue. Now it done came out. Not surprised. I know Quinn wanted it. I've been saying it. Stephen Jones is a serious problem. And if this is what the future look like, we're really in. Let me tell y'all. Again, if you've been following me for the last 3 years, since I've been doing this, I've said this multiple times. It hadn't changed. We are in a position where the talent of the team has to take over the coaching and the bad moves of the front office. That's why the talent level has to be so good here, because when it gets to coaching, bad coaching, or the front office not doing what they're supposed to do, this is when it shows up. So the question really is, are we as talented now as we are before? Exactly. Dak, delusional fans with more. 1,000% true. This is the truth. Unless you just one of those special type dudes. This is what he says. It takes 3 years to deliver to what they are, unless it takes 3 years. That is the obvious standard that has always been for defensive tackles. Cowboys give up on them quick. Bohanna, gone. Less than 3 years. Ridgeway, gone. See what I'm just talking about those two. There's been plenty of others. See what I'm saying? The Cowboys, and this goes back to what was said here before. I see you, B-Bird. B-Bird says in the chat, y'all see it. He said the difference between Wagner's contract and LVE's contract was $500,000. Remember what I said to y'all. Now it's all coming true. Like I told y'all. Y'all will listen to me sooner or later. I told y'all the Cowboys have a unhidden, nameless disease in their franchise. It's called loyalty. Loyalty to what? Remember what I told you? Loyalty to a contract or a player. This right here, this comment by B-Bird proves my point. I've been saying it. Y'all know I said it. They were loyal to LVE. They were holding out all hope that LVE could be that guy. While Dan Quinn was praising LVE and all that stuff, at the same time, he wanted Bobby Wagner. I rest my case. The Cowboys, the front office shut it down. They said, no, we only want Bobby Wagner. We'll bring him in for an interview just so y'all can shake hands and hug each other and look at y'all Super Bowl ring from Seattle and compare the diamonds and all that kind of stuff. But we ain't trying to give him a contract now. We don't mind wasting time, shaking hands with him, saying what a great player he is, and he's that. We don't mind that, but we ain't offering no contract now. We're not doing that. This is what he does. It's Stephen Jones. They were loyal to LVE. Bottom line. And in the meantime, you let a Bobby Wagner go, who made all pro the following year. You see what I'm saying? It's a disease. They believe in their system. They believe in trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. You see what I'm saying? And that's what cost us Bobby Wagner. Loyalty. Which is still in the house. And we'll just see, what's next. Now, let me finish up the schedule because that's what y'all came for, and then I'll finish it. Cincinnati, will Joe Burrow be there? If Joe Burrow is there, then Cincinnati is tough. If he's not there, I'm not worried about Cincinnati. We just have to wait and see. And then Cincinnati has always been that type of team with Burrow that they can get hot. So that's just how they are. They got the firepower. However, they lost a lot of their line. Joe Mixon is not there now. Joe Mixon is in Houston. So that's a big piece gone. So Cincinnati is not the same team, even if Burrow is there. T. Higgins is T. Higgins gone? I think T. Higgins is gone. It's either him or Boyd is gone. Of course, they got Jamar Chase, who's like a monster himself, but Cincinnati is not the same. So I'm not going to, that's all I can say. I'm not saying we're there and we're going to win and all that. I'm just saying Cincinnati is not the same. Okay, Air Carolina, those are one of those games where, these are one of these games like the Arizona game last year, like the Jacksonville game, a couple years ago. These are games that Cowboys should win. I'll say that. Carolina should not win. But the Cowboys lay an egg all the time and never fails. I ain't saying it's going to be that game. I'm just saying we shouldn't, no matter where we play Carolina, we should beat Carolina. It's just that simple. So I ain't going to waste time with that. Tampa, I'm not making predictions. I'll make a prediction on the Carolina game. We should beat Carolina. No doubt about that. We got Carolina. Then we got Tampa. Tampa's better on a Sunday night game at home. Then we go to Philly in December. Should be cold in Philadelphia, but it's the Cowboys Philadelphia game. Hey, it is what it is. Rivalry game. When we start talking about week 17 and 18, depending on where the division is at that particular time, you really can't say nothing about that because you don't know who's going to be playing. If Philly got a 4-game lead in the division, why would they be playing their guys and, a whole lot in week 17? I'm just saying. Or Dallas, whatever. Week 18 against Washington, you really can't say nothing about that because you don't know who's going to be playing. You don't know. Y'all want Trey Lance to play so bad. If the Cowboys record is bad or if it's that good enough where they can afford it, you'll see Trey Lance play. When we start talking about week 17 and 18. If the Cowboys record is bad, you're going to see Trey Lance. They're not going to put Dak out there. If the Cowboys have a real good record and got a good division lead, You may not see him. You know, I'm just telling the truth. It's kind of, you can't, that's why I say you can't predict right now. You can't do it. I last year, I didn't make that mistake. I went week to week as far as, game predictions. I ain't predicting right now because got to see what's going on. Let me say this and then I'll finish up. We question the toughness of this team. We question the physicality of this team. We question, let me get this up. Y'all forgive me. There we go. We question the toughness of this team. We question the physicality of this team. We question the ability to bully teams. And we also question what happens when we get bullied. The Green Bay game was a bullying game last year. When you get hit in the mouth, do you have the ability to hit back? For some reason, when the Cowboys get hit in the mouth, they stay getting hit in the mouth. They never hit back. Well, I said it last year. You can go back and look at it. When we win spectacularly. And when we lose spectacularly. Is if the games are close, we lose in dramatic fashion. Or something happened like the Philly game in Philly, stepping out of bounds on the 2-point around, that type of stuff. Or a play that we should have had. The Miami game, Tony Pollard, instead of just bullying his way in, want to try to finesse his way to the end zone, get stopped. We fumble on the next play. Lemke fumbles on the next play going in. It's spectacular losses. 49er game, spectacular beatdown. Arizona game, spectacular get ran over the whole game. See what I'm saying? It's spectacular. When the Cowboys win, it's spectacular. We blow people completely out the water. We did that all last year. Question is, can we hit people in the mouth? Well, according to the schedule demands, y'all listen to me, the schedule demands that we hit people in the mouth this year. And so the question is, do we have that type of team? Do we have the mentality that goes along with that? That's my only question. And I'm not going to place judgment yet because I got to see it. I'm not going to place judgment. The Cowboys know they come in acting finesse with this schedule coming up in these first 6 weeks. If they come in acting finesse, they're going to get their brains kicked in. There's no other way I can put it. Because the teams that we're going against only know one way. And that's to play downhill, smash mouth football, dead in your face. Cleveland, smash mouth. New Orleans, smash mouth. Baltimore, smash mouth. The Giant game, they're going to try. They're going to try. When you look at it, let's look at it again. When you look at it again, Pittsburgh, smash mouth, in your face. Test your manhood. Detroit, test your manhood. After the bye week, the 49ers, we already know, they test your manhood. Atlanta might be the first finesse game that they may have. That's week 8. Everybody else coming dead at you and hit you in your mouth. Everybody. Everybody from week 1. From week 1 with the Cleveland Browns, the Saints, week 3, the Ravens, the Giants, the Steelers, the Lions, after the bye week, the 49ers. Those first 8 weeks, are teams that are gonna hit you in your mouth and dare you to hit back. That's just the truth. And to me, the word physical and Cowboys, that ain't just worked for me in the last. That ain't just worked for me in the last few years. We have a physical line, but when you got them again, see, here we go. When you got them having in pass protection all game long, bagging up instead of going forward, hitting people in the mouth, and so that in the fourth quarter they were worn out. Instead of throwing the ball 40 times, 35 to 40 times a game, or 34 to 30, 30 plus times with Dak every game. And you look at the running backs and they ain't really running the ball. You can't help but say you're a finesse team. You're not physical. You're not calling the plays to be physical. So I can't, I answered the question again. Do I think, somebody asked the question earlier, do I think we're going to be a running team or a passing team? Well, the track record shows we're a passing team. That's what the track record showed to me. I don't believe Mike McCarthy. I didn't believe when he first got here. Talking about we going to be a running football team. Zeke don't mean that much. Zeke got the right attitude and the mindset, but does he have the production though? Zeke has the mindset because he's a dog. But does he have the production to go with it? The answer is no. See, y'all don't want to tell the truth. So where's the physicality going to come from? It got to come from the offensive side too. It just can't be defense. It just can't be the defensive side. You got to be offensive. So Mike McCarthy, to be honest with you, to complete this thing, he's going to have to do something that I know he ain't used to doing, and that is really running the football. Now, I don't know if it's in him. Because he got to get the ball to CD. Got to get the ball to Ferg. Dak got to throw the ball. And the idea of you thinking Dak gonna only throw it 25 times, that's not reality. It's not reality. It's not. It's not. And if you have that mentality of a finesse mentality, these first 6 weeks, you are going to get bullied. Now with the finesse, here's the you want some positivity? Here's the positivity. Even with the finesse that I'm talking about, the Cowboys still dang near score 30 points a game. The offense ain't changed. The offense ain't changed. The offense scores. The offense scores. The offense still put up 30 points a game. They do. Dak still gets his numbers. Dak still led the league in touchdowns last year. Even though I say we don't run the ball. Even though I say we don't, run the ball, consistently. Even with that, the Cowboys still were 12-5. A lot of wins. Cowboys still put numbers up. Still had top 2, top 3 offense in the league. Dak Prescott was still the run up to the MVP. Dak Prescott still led the league in touchdowns. He still had a first-team All-Pro wide receiver. You don't get that unless you put up crazy numbers, and he did. That's the positivity that I can give you. That even though I say we play finesse passing game football, it's still, the production is still there. We score. But the idea of everybody getting hype over BB and Guyton, talking about all of a sudden we just really bludgeon people. I mean, look at all the lines that he had before, and he still didn't run the ball. Or if you want to get at the Kellen Moore, it ain't like we ain't had no dominant lineman before. Tyron Smith was there, dominant. Zach Martin was there, dominant. I mean, everybody else was still the same. The Cowboys, when it comes to the running game, see, I don't believe it. I believe it when I see it. I don't believe it's gonna happen. All this talk about running, I don't believe it. Here's what my definition of the running game is for this team. This Cowboy team needs to run it when they have to run it. That's my definition for this team. Can we run it when we want to run it? And when I say want to, can we run it? If it's first down and 5, no matter the 8-man box, no matter all that type of stuff, I'm saying, can we line up on first down and get 4 to 5 yards on first down, even though you knew we were running? And it's 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 9. And then if it's 2nd down, you decide to run the ball, you pick up another 3 to 4 yards. Okay, it's 3rd and 1 or it's another first down. Can we do that instead of it being 2nd down and 8 because Zeke done ran it up the middle and only got 1 yard? So now it's 3rd and 8. Now everybody know we passing. Now Dak got to, see what I'm saying? Can we run it when we have to run it and when we want to run it? So nobody ain't gonna have no 20 carries individually. I doubt that very seriously. It'll be a running back by committee, but can we get a combined 2 or 3 guys that can run the ball collectively at least 25 times a game? My answer to that and the track record says no, because see, we had Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, and we still didn't run it. Those are the facts. There were plenty of games that the guys had less than 20 carries combined. So I don't. I don't. They just gonna have to show me by play calling, and the track record shows that Mike McCarthy is a pass happy coordinator. Well, I mean, I don't care how many running backs we got. We had 2, 3, 4 running backs the last few years. We didn't run it. We didn't. Y'all know it's the truth. We had Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. Zeke would get the ball 12 to 14 times. Pollard would carry the ball maybe 6 to 7. That's it. We were throwing the ball. Amari Cooper, a healthy Michael Gallup, rookie C.D. Lamb. We were throwing the ball. Dalton Schultz, tight end. I mean, come on now. We were a passing football team. Even when we had the offensive line, somewhat of a decent offensive line, we didn't run the ball. So I have no choice but to believe what I see. I love everybody's optimism. I love it. I understand we got BB who looked like a road grow, a dang lawnmower just eating up grass, just pounding people. Yeah, but is Mike McCarthy gonna call those type plays for BB to do that? See what I'm saying? Or is he gonna fall in and have them bagging up doing pass blocking all the time? Because Dak got to get his numbers. They believe that they gonna look, no matter what y'all think about Dak, they're gonna put the ball in the hands of their best player. And then this team, they obviously believe that the ball needs to be in the hands of Dak Prescott. Run-up MVP, all-pro quarterback. They ain't just finna just turn it to like we Baltimore, the Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson running brigade. That ain't finna happen with us. I love y'all optimism. I love it. I hope I'm wrong. But unfortunately for y'all, at least in this setting, I believe in what we should be doing to make the Cowboys better. But unfortunately, I done seen this. I done seen Mike McCarthy. I saw him call the games last year. It didn't look too much different than Kellen Moore. It didn't. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Pass happy football team that barely ran the ball enough. Somebody gonna say, well, Tony Pollard got 1,000 yards, but y'all know that 1,000 yards. It was almost like empty calorie yards. It wasn't effective. Our second running back, I mean, good God, how much they run? So I don't believe it. I believe it when I see it. We all got excited how bad BB was just running over people. Everybody done seen the Kansas State tapes. Are we gonna? Is Coach McCarthy gonna call them plays, man? So he can do that? I mean, is he? Y'all sure about that? Y'all sure? Dyler Guyton, if you look at his tape, smashing people. Okay, is he gonna call it, or is he gonna call the plays that he called for Tyron Smith, having Tyron Smith do pass blocking all the time, bagging up? That's what I saw. That's what I saw with Kellen Moore too. I saw that. That's what I saw. So I don't know. I hope we change the philosophy up a little bit, because those first 6 games are going. That's what it's going to have to be. You're going to have to play. You're going to have to hit bullies in their mouth. You don't do that by calling pass plays all the time. You're going to have to go hit these guys dead in their mouth. You're going to have to do that. I don't see that in McCarthy. I don't see that type of mentality. I just don't. He's very effective. He's effective. McCarthy is effective. You can't argue that. Top 10 offense, top 5 offense. They can't say they're not effective, but a mentality that's required. You can't get a bunch of offensive linemen who are physical and then make them finesse. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. And I have to see it first. When we gonna have a 200-yard running game like Arizona did us? When we gonna have it? I got my better yet. When are we gonna have consistent 100+ yard games as a running team? Since we going by committee, when are we gonna have that? Forget 200-yard game. When are we gonna have 100-yard games on a consistent basis with our running back? See, I'm naming things that we don't do, but you're gonna have to do that because it's gonna require that. Them first 6 games are gonna be crazy. Physical football at its finest. Smash mouth in your face, hit you dead in your mouth type football. And the Dallas Cowboys for the last 5-6 years have not been that way. We stopped doing it once Ezekiel Elliott started going down. Well, you're going to have to do it. They didn't do it when they had a healthier Ezekiel Elliott, if you want to count that. And then Tony Pollard. They didn't run the ball then. They didn't run it. And so I'm not excited about who else we have as running backs. I'm not excited about Deuce. I'm not excited about Royce Freeman. I'm not excited about the kid that we drafted who's a home run hitter. I'm not excited about them because they ain't going to get the ball. Shoot. If they get the ball, I mean, really, how many times they going to touch it? For real. I'm not excited about that. I'm not. Hey, when it's time to get excited, I will. I will say, okay, I see something here. But until I see it, I ain't going all optimism. I'm going by the track record that I've seen from Mike McCarthy. I'm going off the track record that I saw. I might as well say with Kellen Moore, because there really wasn't that much difference as far as running game goes. To me, I look the same to me. I agree, Shane. Shane says it best. So you're talking about a change in philosophy, and that will happen. We get a new head coach for a new direction. That may very well be true. But this is why I'm saying it. When I look, I ain't got to look at the whole schedule. I'm looking at the first 6 weeks before the bye week, and you might as well count the Frisco game right after that. I'm talking about these first 8 weeks. Then look at these teams that we playing against. Every one of them, with the exception, and I ain't gonna say not even. I'm saying the Giants, because the Giants tried to run the ball. They tried to be physical. They just didn't have the personnel to play with us. But they tried to run the ball, and we just jumped on them so early. We blew them out. Made Daniel Jones throw it, and whoever else the other quarterback was, they didn't have a chance. But they tried. But Cleveland is a bully football team. Smash you in your mouth. New Orleans, smash you in your mouth with Kamara. The Baltimore Ravens, with the addition of Derrick Henry, they're going to smash you in your mouth. The Giants are going to try to run the ball. The Steelers are smash you in your mouth with Najee Harris. Now you got the Detroit Lions, smash you in your mouth, physical football team. And then I ain't got to say nothing about the 49ers. We already know. They bullied us. Smash you in your mouth team. So the philosophy is really, in one word, Shane, physicality. Physicality and Dallas Cowboys is a combination that just right now just don't mix. So you're going to have to, the philosophy change and stop being so finesse. And that's all where we are. That's what I didn't say. So y'all forgive me. Some of y'all don't like because y'all, I ain't saying we can't win those games. I'm just saying we're going to have to win these games by, at some point, we're going to have to punch these guys in their mouth because these are bully-type football teams with the exception of the Giants. With the exception of the Giants, the first 8 weeks is teams that if you let them bully you, you are going to lose the game. This is what we've been begging for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Well, guess what? The first 8 weeks, as you can see right there, including the bye, now you got a gauntlet of teams, maybe with the exception of the Giants. Everybody else is a smash mouth, hit you in your stomach and your face football team. And if you don't hit back with physicality, not finesse, you're going to be in a world of trouble. So, hey, I'm not saying no, exactly. I'm talking about the offense. The offensive, look, I'm just calling it like it is. The offensive been pumped out. There are a couple games that the defense got smashed up to. The Arizona game, the 49er game last year. We got punched in the mouth. And we didn't hit back. We couldn't match. You got to match physicality, man, with physicality. You can't match physicality with finesse. You cannot do it. You can't do it. You got smashed in the mouth. Last time we saw this team, we got punked out by the Green Bay Packers, who smashed us in the mouth, and we didn't answer back. This is what I'm talking about. You can't finesse your way out of this. And when you look at that first 8 weeks right there, I ain't even looking at the rest of it because there's some more on there. But I'm just looking at the gauntlet of the first 8 weeks. We gonna find out real quick what kind of team we got. Your play calling got to match physicality. You can't be down here trying to pass the ball with Dak 35, 60, 40 times a game. You can't do that. No. You got to let my offensive line go forward, not backwards. Let them lay on these guys. Let them hit them in the mouth. Then I'll take my chances. But if you're going to tell me Dak Prescott going to be in the shotgun just about all game long, because you done brought Zeke back and all. See, Zeke has the mindset. Zeke has that mindset that I'm talking about. Zeke Elliott has it. But unfortunately, you got to have the production to go along with the mindset. So you can have it all game. I got to have the production to go with it. Now, does that mean Zeke ain't it? I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out, y'all. I have to see the physicality now because the schedule demands that we play physical. If y'all don't take nothing else from the schedule, I ain't doing no predictions at all because I don't know who we lining up with. I don't know who going to be there in week 1. I don't know. Injuries going to happen everywhere. So I'm not even saying what predictions are. I ain't doing it. But I do know because of who the coaches are on the other side, and I know the style that they play. See, we ain't got to wonder about week 3. We know what Baltimore going to do. Why you think they went and got Derrick Henry? We already know what they're going to do. They were running before Henry got there. I know what New Orleans going to do. They got Kamara. I know what Cleveland going to do. They're going to run the ball. And then they got Deshaun to help out with the running game. I know what the Steelers are going to do. I know who Coach Mike Tomlin is. They're going to run the ball. They got Najee Harris. I know what Detroit going to do. They got Gibbs and Montgomery. I know what they're going to do. See, I don't have to wonder about this. I know what they're going to do. And I know they're physical football teams. No, Brian, no. You said if the defense don't stop, I agree. The physicality I'm talking about is on both sides. Zimmer is a physical type dude. You take on the personality of your coach. Quinn is a physical dude. We just had so many injuries that he had no choice but to put safeties and linebackers. Sooner or later, you're going to get these 300-pound linemen that get on the second level, and then you got a 220-pound safety against a 330-pound lineman. Guess who's going to win that fight? Quinn is a physical guy. He just didn't have the personnel. Well, we got the personnel now on defense, exception of, let's see if the defensive tackles can work. That's my only question. Let's see how Zimmer is a physical type guy. He's going to teach that. That's what he is. I ain't worried about the defense per se. I'm worried about this offense. I'm worried about the finesse game of the offense. Even though we score, even though Dak puts up the numbers, I'm talking about when it's time to do something. Can you do it when you want to? When it's time to run the football, can you do it? That's the only question about the Cowboys I got. Exactly, Will. Because it ain't there. If I got to keep asking these same questions about the physicality of the Dallas Cowboys over a section of the team, then we obviously don't have it. McCarthy and physicality just don't match. See, when I say Tomlin and physicality with the Steelers, it matches. When I say Dan Campbell and physicality, it matches. When I say John Harbaugh and physicality, it matches. When I say Coach Mike McCarthy and physicality, and the schedule demands for physicality. Just look at the first 8 weeks. I rest my case. The schedule starting off with week 1 on down. It demands physicality from the offensive side of the ball. I'm not worried about the defense per se. Only thing I'm worried about the defense is a new system. They got to learn it, gel together. They'll get better and better and better as the year go on. I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about the physicality of defenses going against our finesse play calling of our offensive coordinator. That goes all the way back to Kellen Moore. And it's the same formula, same questions that I done had for the last 8 years. The car they got, he begged for the reins. He begged to drive the car. And once he drove the car, he looked just like Kellen Moore. You couldn't run the ball when you wanted to. We didn't run it enough. And I understand it because the best player on the team was your quarterback. As far as offensive goes, MVP candidate. Of course, he's the best player on your team, offensively. You got an all-pro wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, of course. You're going to go to the strength of your team. But the problem was you couldn't run it when you really needed to. That's been the Cowboys' Achilles heel in the last eight years or so. So can we? Can BB or Guyton make that much of a difference? I would say yes, but again, you got to call the plays that's needed in order to find that out. Everybody excited about BB's tape. Everybody saw how he was bowling ball people over in Kansas State. But the question is Mike McCarthy gonna call them tight plays for him so he can do it in the NFL? See? You can't hide weeks 1 through 8, y'all. Look at it. Look at week 1 through 8. You might get a small breather in week 4 with the Giants. That's it. And you'll get the bye week, but you're gonna need the bye week because it's an all-out war in San Francisco. When you go to San Francisco, they're gonna hit you in your mouth, man. You gotta answer that. Other than the Giant game, look what's coming the way. Physical. Finesse ain't gonna get it done. I'm not saying we're going 0-6. We may pull out some games out of there, but there's a way that you need to play the game. You didn't draft BB and Guyton for pass blocking. You didn't do that. No, you didn't do that. BB is an excellent pass blocker, but you got BB because of what you saw, how he was knocking people over. That's why you went and got BB, because you wanted to get physical. You love the way Guyton was knocking people down and laying on top of them, how he was mauling people. That's what you liked. You love this pass blocking. You like that too, but that ain't the reason why you got them. You liked it because of the physicality that they had. That's why you got them. Now, can we finally get some play calls that will do that? Well, y'all say I can't. Can we do that? The schedule demands for it. Let's see. Exactly, William. The schedule demands for it. Let's see what it is. We won't answer these questions until week 1. I ain't making no predictions. None. Let's see where they are. Let's see who can survive. Okay, I see you, Quack. Hey, Dak Prescott good for at least 10 wins every year. And it's looking like he just about gonna get you 11-12. If you say 12-5, I'm not knocking it. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be there. I'm not. All I'm saying is that the schedule demands that we play physical football, and that is something that we ain't really known for. That's all I'm saying. And so I will make no predictions about the schedule. I haven't. There's too much time between now and week 1 before that comes up. I do week by week predictions. That's what I do. And I really didn't do that last year. I said I wasn't predicting games. I would just give the evidence of what a team is, what we are at the time, and I may even say we should win. Now, if you count that as a prediction, then I guess I'm guilty of it. But I would not say what we are. I would not say it. All right. All right. I'm done. Sorry if y'all were looking for predictions. Matter of fact, I'll let y'all have the last say. Y'all seen the schedule. Well, let me put it up for you. Quack already started. Some of y'all can make predictions now. That's fine. Y'all go ahead and put in the chat what y'all think it's going to be. We'll look at it. Y'all look at it. I need to see what y'all saying. Those that want to predict, I'll go ahead and let you have it. Uh, y'all look at it. Y'all look at it. I'm gonna move down in a second. Y'all look at it. Now, let me do this. Let me do this, y'all. So see, I don't. This will tell me really all I need to know. The back end is a little bit lighter, if you want to say that. I want to know what y'all think week 1 through 8 prediction is. I know y'all want to give the whole thing, but on this show, look at weeks 1 through 8. You tell me if y'all predicting, tell me that. Cause see, that is gonna answer, that's gonna be the stage for the rest of the season. Joe says 14-3. Week 1 through 8. I need the prediction on that. That's what I want to know. Joe says 14-3. Terry says 9-8 or 10-7 at best. Too many rookies and inexperienced players. I want to know what y'all think week 1 through 8. Joe says 7-1. Woo. Okay. Joe says 7-1 week 1 through 8. I tell you what, if we 7-1 coming out of that, we gonna start having different conversations. Yeah. I'll be the first to tell you, if we come out of 7-1 out of that, I gotta have Greg up to one. Greg said we're just gonna be undefeated. Greg said we're gonna be undefeated, 8-0. Okay. Okay. And I get it because it's Mike McCarthy's second year. It's the offensive second year. We pretty much got the same players coming back with the exception of the 2 offensive linemen who supposed to be starting. We're supposed to be better in that offense. I get it. All right, Terry says 2-5 or 3-4. Okay. Shane says 3 wins by the 8th game. Dak Delusional Fans says 4-4. Joe says the Baltimore game scares me a little bit. About to be some more game. That Detroit game ought to scare you too, Joe. Exactly. Williams said, I know we win in week 7. That's the bye week. Record 3-5 teams, 3 to 5 teams have been better coaches than McCarthy. That's true. That's true. Anybody else, real quick? I know we're going over a little bit today, but but I'm just looking at it. That Detroit game ought to scare you too, Joe. Detroit is very good, and to be honest with you, Detroit should have beat us last year. They gave the game to us. To be honest with you. Yeah. I don't know what that says, Greg. MONR, these is scare. I don't know what you said there, Greg. I think you just mispronounced it. Type that in again. Anybody else for week 1 through 8? Anybody else from week 1 through 8? Cause be honest with you, that's to me, that's you say you scared of no one at home. You scared of nobody. Williams says all these teams improved in the offseason. Dallas did not. Hey. 9 of these games are scary. That's what you try to say, Gary. Greg. Yeah. Week 9, I know y'all don't see it there, but I just want to focus in on week 1 through 8. But the 9 is Atlanta, and no one really knows what Atlanta will be. So it could be another scary game by the time week 9 get, because Atlanta could catch fire. They got a lot of weapons. They got a lot of weapons. I know that. Or it could be the other way around. But I really want to focus in on weeks 1 through 8, because I feel like that is, you hate to say it early. It's about where you are at the end of the season, where can you get rolling at the end of the season. But the way I look at it is, see, if you're not playing well or put up some wins in these first 8 weeks here, like for instance, I already said it before, and I think Shane came and got me. You got to come out of this gauntlet with at least 3 wins. That's my opinion. At least 4 wins would be great out of this, out of the first 8 weeks. 3 to 4 wins would be great. But you can't go 1-7. You know what I'm saying? You 1-6. I'm sorry. You can't go 2-4 and all that. That's the pressure would be mounting for real, and you got to be mentally tough to get it done. I don't see it. So we're gonna find out, y'all. We're gonna find out. Physical football is needed. Physical football is needed. It has to happen. And let's see what will happen. I don't think, we said that earlier, William. I don't think they're going to fire him in the middle of the season if you have a bad record. It's just too much of a turnover, even though you got guys that can step right in. Zimmer would be the obvious head coach, interim head coach. Schottenheimer would be the offensive coordinator. Obviously, they got that part covered, but the mentality and the downside of firing him in mid-season, that wouldn't be good. Now, there's some scenarios. See, if the Cowboys go 1-6, the fan base would be calling for his head. And really, be honest with you, it's mistaken identity. That's another whole show within itself. They should be calling for the head of Jerry Jones, because it was him that said, you're going to have to win with less. And he done set it up that way. You see what I'm saying? So McCarthy would take the bullet, but, it's really them. Don't ever forget about that. Don't forget about all the offseason yep that they gave. You got to win with less. Look at what they did or what they didn't do. They didn't sign nobody. They depended totally on the draft, as they always do. Then they start signing these bargain bin free agents. They let a lot of people leave. A lot of people left the team. And he said, we got to do it with less. So Mike McCarthy will get the blame for it. You'll get all these networks talking about Mike McCarthy got to go. He's off to a 1-5 start and all that. But really, is it Mike McCarthy? Or is it Jerry Jones? Stephen Jones? So you got to be fair. You got to remember everything that, if we get to that point, if we get to week 7 and they look horrible, or they just can't win the games that they need to, or how they look where they play, don't ever forget about this offseason. I'm not. The fan base will forget and call for McCarthy's head. But I'm not going to forget what Jerry Jones did this offseason. I'm not going to forget it. And I will be bringing it up. He said it just like I'm talking in this microphone. He said it on their microphone. We're going to have to win with less. So in other words, you didn't even try. You already made up in your mind that you're not going to spend no money. You already made up your mind that you just going to lean on the draft, on a bunch of rookies and run it back. And all that you're going to bring in Ezekiel Elliott in as a feel-good story. You're going to bring him back and thinking that'll shut the fan base down. Y'all notice when Ezekiel is signed, everybody stopped crying. as if Zeke Elliott was the answer to fix all. I didn't notice that. I'm like, man, y'all got excited passing this video around him grunting, hollering through garbage cans on the Instagram video and doing spin moves on trash cans and looking like an all world running back and all that type of stuff. Y'all got quiet all of a sudden. Running game fixed. That's what y'all said. The goal line might be fixed. I'll give you that. The red zone goal line inside the 2-yard line might be fixed with Zeke back. I'll give you that. But the running game, we'll see. All right. I'm done. Can't take no more. I know I talked too long. I would open up the lines, but I ain't gonna do it. I done talked too long because y'all will keep me here another 30 minutes. I'm tired now. Join me on Monday. You might pick this back up because there's a lot of meat on. I promise I will open up the lines Monday. Matter of fact, I'll let you guys take over the show. Don't talk too long. Plus, I got to save my voice because I'm preaching in the morning. So, got to preach in the morning. So, get myself together. Y'all have a good rest of the night. Y'all take it easy. We will see you on Monday at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. We will see you at 7 p.m. Central Time for the show. We'll pick this back up again because one show obviously ain't going to get it done. I want to hear what y'all say. I want to know why y'all so optimistic about this when y'all cried and said we ain't doing nothing, we gonna get our brains beat out. I'm trying to figure out why y'all so optimistic. Joe, I need to talk to you because you say we're gonna be, what you say, 14-3? I'm trying to figure out how you come up with that. I hope it's the case. I want to know that. I want to know, everybody say we're gonna be 12-5 again. I want to know why you said that when mostly everybody said we got worse. And everybody else got better. I'm trying to figure out how we come up with it. I would like to know. I need to know that. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. Let me get that right, because like I said, I ain't making no predictions. I'm going week by week. And once we see what we have for that particular week, I'll say, okay, Cowboys should win. It just depends on where we at. They may have injuries, we may have injuries, and all. You just got to see where we at before I can make predictions like that. We got to. That's what I think. So we'll just see. We'll just see. I would like to know that. I'll let you guys tell me why. Y'all figure that out. All right. Until the end, Monday, 7 p.m. Hey, schedule's out. Guess what? Ain't nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Why is that up there like that on my ticker? Is that? I didn't put that there. Y'all forgive me. I see that. That ain't my stuff. No, that's my stuff right there. Everybody, before you leave, hit that like button for me. I didn't say it before. Everybody hit that like button. Everybody hit that like button for me. Everybody hit that like button for me. Smash it about 20 times for me, if you don't mind. All right? Before you leave, hit it out there. Listen, I'll hang with you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. We're going to go and get out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. This has been the one and only. This is the Big Time Show. Yeah.